Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Alex. I'm a music producer, composer, multi-instrumentalist, and I'm very excited to be playing for y'all tonight. That last song was called Glide Tonight. It's an original. I want to thank everybody at the City Lights Theater, especially Rebecca and Lisa, for being so wonderful to work with, being such huge supporters of mine. I want to thank you all tonight for tuning in, wherever in the world you might be. You're here with me, and I appreciate that. I was born in a small town about 50 kilometers south of Medellín, Colombia. The small town is called Fredonia. And growing up in Fredonia influenced the style of music that I listened to and the style of music that I compose. So I try to blend those styles that I grew up listening to with my original music. This next song I wrote about the town square of Fredonia. And I wrote it as part of a concept album while I was in college. And the concept album detailed the thoughts and experiences that I had as an immigrant, as a Colombian immigrant in this country. And I had some friends make a band to be able to record this album, but I'll be playing an instrumental version of this song for you tonight. This song is called En la Plaza. Thank you. So another experience that I had that influenced the style of music that I play is my college experience while I was at university. I studied jazz piano, jazz composition, arrangement. So I try to incorporate rich harmonic chords into whatever kind of music that I compose. Something else that I did while I was in college is every Sunday I would go to a nursing home and I would volunteer and I would play for the residents. And they love listening to music from the 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s. And so I learned a lot of jazz standards to be able to play for them. And it'd be so inspiring, so uplifting to see them come alive whenever I played a song that they recognized. Even if they were wheeled in or they were sleeping, they would start clapping or singing along. That's a beautiful experience that I cherish. This next song, the first time I performed in front of a crowd was for the nursing home residents. And after I was done, one of the residents asked me, "What place do you stay?" I'm not really sure what she meant, but I thought it was a really cool way to phrase a question. And it got me thinking, in today's day and age, when everything's so global, many of us don't live in the same place where we grew up, where we were born. So this next song is called Places to Stay. Thank you. If you're just joining us, welcome. Feel free to make yourself comfortable, ask any questions in the chat. I want to remind everyone that there's also a tip jar. Donations are not expected, but they're highly appreciated. I want to pull the curtain back a little bit and explain to you how I'm making this music. If you notice, there's more than just the live piano going on. So I pre-recorded some tracks, so it wasn't just solo piano the whole time. And I used different instruments. For example, I have my little keyboard right here, which I can make it sound like different kinds of instruments. So right now, it sounds like an electric piano. You can also make this other one sound like strings or a different kind of synthesizer. And I got a drum pad right here. So what I can do with this is I can basically practice drums without having to bother the neighbors. That kind of thing. So just a little demo of how I make the backing track. So if you're wondering, oh, is he actually playing? Yeah, so the live piano is actually live, and so is this. But some of the more percussive stuff I pre-recorded. Anyway, I want to invite a guest now. It's my friend. I want to show you a style of music that developed in the Caribbean coast of Colombia. So in the late 1800s, early 20th century, there was an influx of German immigrants into Colombia, and along with them, they brought the accordion. And so the local people from Colombia started using this instrument to combine it with the local styles of music. And there are several different rhythms that developed, but one of my favorite ones is called cumbia. And cumbia has grown since then. It's spread all over Latin America, and it's even gone it's even come to the US. It's mainstream now. And it's one of my favorite styles of music, and I like the original 30s, 40s cumbia, so I want to play you an arrangement I made of a medley of cumbias, a very famous cumbias, and some of my favorite ones. So I hope you enjoy.
Fantastic. Hey, Alex, I've got a question for you.
Yeah, sure. What's up?
People are wanting to know where to find your virtual tip jar. I realize I don't have a link to that. What can I tell them?
Oh, okay. So my Venmo is Alex-G-Arango. You can also find me on PayPal, Zelle, check, whatever works for you. But I think Venmo is the best.
Thank you, Alex. That was
Cool.
fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you. I love seeing some people dancing. It made me smile so much. Almost got me distracted. But it's great. It's so weird not having an audience in person. So it's kind of cool to still get some human interaction, even if it's virtual. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is, well, I want to explain a little bit about it. So, from cumbia, there's a lot of different rhythms that were developed, and one of my favorite ones is called vallenato. And vallenato is another type of music that I grew up listening to because I had no choice. The neighbors would blast it every weekend when they would clean the house. So eventually I started liking it. And then I immigrated here and I stopped listening for a while. But when I was about 15 or 16, I wanted to reconnect with my Colombian roots. And so I started listening to a lot of vallenato and I wanted to be able to play it. So I learned how to play some songs on the piano, but it just wasn't the same. One of the main parts of a vallenato song is the accordion and the percussion, and of course the singer. Luckily, a few years prior, my friend's dad had given me an accordion, but it was bigger than this, and I was smaller than I am now, so I didn't even consider to pick it up. When I was 16, I thought it was the right time, and so picked it up. I looked up on the internet what these buttons did, and I knew how to play this side because of the piano. And it was just a matter of getting the timing down right, because the way I look at an accordion is a bunch of harmonicas trapped inside this box. But instead of blowing into them, I move the bellows so you can kind of hear it breathing. So I learned how to play the songs that I was listening to just by hearing them over and over again and sounding, just comparing it to see what sounded right. And eventually I had a little collection of vallenato solos, because one of the most important parts of a vallenato song is the accordion solo. So I want to play you now an arrangement I made of some of my favorite solos in vallenato songs. Oh, thank you. Okay, so I want to bring it back to the piano for a little bit. Um, so I immigrated to the US when I was 8 years old. And one of the styles of music that I gravitated to immediately was hip hop music. So from around age 9, 10, I was listening to a lot of 90s hip hop, early 2000s rap and R&B. And I didn't speak English at the time, so I just liked the overall sound, the overall feeling of it. So when I compose music nowadays, I try to incorporate that sound into my melodies. This next song is called Timeless. Thank you. another type of music that I grew up listening to is salsa music. And even though it's not Colombian, it actually originated in New York around the 60s or 70s. Colombia has definitely made an impact in salsa music, and it's developed its own identity. So much so that even one of the cities called Cali is nicknamed the capital of salsa. I think some of the people watching from Colombia can probably verify that. So there's some really iconic songs that have, endured the test of time. And if you ever visit Colombia, I'm sure you'll hear these songs. I'm gonna play you my own arrangement of the piano solos from these songs. Songs are called La Rebelión and En Barranquilla Me Quedo. That's right.
You had some great dancing there, Alex. I don't know if you saw it.
Oh, I wish I could have seen it. No.
There's a nice comment in the chat too. Ramiro says that is quite a fine salsa piano playing, like the maestros.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, to everyone watching from Colombia, muchas gracias por sintonizar. Saludos a los primos, primas, tíos y tías. Muchas gracias por estar acá. I want to continue with the topic of iconic Colombian songs, and I want to do this next one, which has unofficially been called the unofficial Colombian anthem, and so much so that it's been referenced. The lyrics have been referenced in the very Senate floor of Colombia. It's the song talks about two songwriters dueling to see who the better songwriter is, and one of them is clearly better than the other, and so he's making the other guy nervous, and so the other guy is cold sweating. The title of the song literally translates to the cold drop. It's called La Gota Fría. I want to bring it back to an original of mine. My office is quite cozy today, a little bit cramped, but wouldn't have it any other way. So, like many musicians, I'm quite a night owl. I do most of my work at night, my best work at night. It's hard for me to get up early in the morning. But I've actually been reading a book about this, about sleep, and it says that some people are just predisposed to that. So that makes me feel a little better about myself. But no, seriously, so ironically, I wrote this song early one morning. It was about 6 or 7 a.m. and I was drifting in and out of sleep, but I had the idea for the song in my head. So I forced myself to get up and start composing it. Now, generally, when I write a song, it's usually in a short time period, one sitting or one day at the most. Usually go for a walk, come back and finish it. But this song actually took months. I kept changing things, I kept adding instruments, I kept rearranging the order of things. Eventually I just had to let go and be okay with it. There's this saying that says a piece of art or a work of art is never truly finished, it's merely abandoned. And I feel like that applies to this song. This is called Waking Up Late. Thank you. Thank you. I see so many people, so many familiar names. It's very heartwarming. See some unfamiliar names too. I like that. I want to bring it back to the accordion for one last set of songs and tell you, oh, hi, Ibik. I saw you waving. I want to bring it back to the accordion for one last set of accordion songs. I want to tell you about one of my favorite kinds of styles of music. It's another Colombian style, and it's kind of different than most of the music that we listen to nowadays. I'm sure everyone's heard the stereotypical drummer 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the song starts. Well, this type of music called bambuco is counted in 6. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But with a little twist, the accents instead of being on 1 and 4 are on 3 and 5. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. So I think it's very musically interesting. So whenever I have to rearrange a song to make my own version of it, I like to use that platform as a base to create the rest of the song. So this next song is an arrangement of mine of a bambuco song called No Voy a Quedarme, and it translates to I'm Not Going to Stay. Thank you.
Woo!
So continuing on with that same kind of rhythm with the 6/8, this next song I wrote using that rhythm as a platform to build a melody, and I wrote it originally intended to be as a film cue. So what that means is I imagined a fictional scenario, fictional characters, settings, and I used that inspiration to create a sound space, an environment to write my melody. So to make this a little more interactive, maybe I propose that if when you listen to this next song, you imagine your own set of characters, your own setting, your own scenario, and just see what kind of thing pops in your mind, what this inspires. This next song is called Curious. I'd love to read what you imagine if you write it down in the chat below. Afterwards, I'd love to go through the chat and see what you guys wrote. Anyway, wow, this evening's flew by. This is gonna be my last song for the evening. Unfortunately, it's been fun. So, something else that I did while at university was I studied music technology. So I did audio engineering, recording, music production. So basically what I learned to do was manipulate sound waves using the computer. For this next song, I used some of those skills. And I got a recording of someone singing, and I put a bunch of effects on it, reverb, delay, or echo, and I chopped it up into different pieces so that each piece would be 1 or 2 notes, and I assigned it to the previously mentioned drum pad. So I can make someone sing on command, basically. I can make it sing several times. And since I like to combine things, I combined it with one of my guilty pleasures, which is reggaeton. Now, if you don't know, reggaeton is a style of music that came to prominence in the mid 2000s by a lot of Puerto Rican artists, in particular one named Daddy Yankee. You may have heard of his huge hit song called Gasolina. And he was also featured in a song you may know, Despacito. Anyway, reggaeton has taken over the world. If you don't know it, it's a rhythm that goes something like this. Kind of like that. I have some effects on it, so it's hard to hear it. The name of this song has a double meaning. The reason for that is because, well, one, I wrote it with a friend. Shout out to Brandon if you're watching. And I showed him I have an idea for this song. I showed him a couple notes, and he's like, it sounds just like this other song. And the name of that other song is called The Kill. So I said, why don't we name it The Life? It's a little more positive. And the other meaning is that whenever I listen to it, just purely as a listener, it makes me feel like I'm relaxing. And I would say to myself, this is the life. So, this is the life. Thanks everyone for tuning in tonight. It's been very fun playing for everyone. I feel the love. It's so uplifting. It's so heartwarming. Thank you so much for coming out. It means a lot to me. Please connect with me. Reach out. You can add me on Instagram at Arango Music. You can find me on Twitter, LinkedIn. Call me on the phone. Text me. Smoke signals. Whatever. I want to talk to all of you. Please stick around. There's going to be a Q&A afterwards. Ask me anything. Love to interact with you. I can't thank you enough. I hope you enjoyed the show. Thank you so much.
Fantastic. Everyone, if you want to, even if you're muted, unmute for a second just so you can cheer and applaud, because I know Alex would love to hear it.
Ooh, nice work. Way to go, Alex. Awesome.
Well, that's so good to hear. I know that's the challenge for artists here, is that you don't always sense the audience like you usually do. So I think that means a lot. Yeah. This has just been so wonderful. I have some questions I want to ask Alex, but obviously everyone in the audience is welcome. Feel free to type questions into the chat, raise your Zoom hand, call out a question. This was just fantastic. A lot of my questions you already answered, Alex, because you had just such great pattern between songs. It was wonderful to hear. But the main thing I want to hear is about your plans and aspirations for your music career now that the world is reopening. What's next for you?
So I want to pursue a career in film composition. So I plan to move to LA to be able to work under established composers, do hopefully an apprenticeship, work in a studio. Just want to be able to keep manipulating sounds for a living, because I think it's such a wonderful thing to do, and I like doing it. So that's what I want to do.
Fantastic. And some of you may not have heard that Alex has a music technology degree. So you worked as front of house engineer and lighting engineer. So you approach music from a lot of different angles, don't you?
Yeah, that helped a lot, knowing the other side of things, because when you're on stage, you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. So now that I had that experience being on the other side, I'm able to prepare to make it easiest as possible for the audio engineer to be able to do their job, and I can ensure that the sound comes out as best as possible. Which, by the way, I want to thank my audio engineer tonight, who is my girlfriend, Natalie. She did a wonderful job cueing the sounds. There she is.
Good job, Natalie.
Thank you.
Does anyone have any questions? Oh, there's so many. I don't know if you can see the chat from where you're sitting, Alex, but there's so many thanks, applause, and congratulations. And unfortunately, I don't speak Spanish, so I'm not going to try to pronounce the words. If you want to leave any comments in French or Hungarian, I can do those. But oh, this is great. And I hear, Alex, I think you said you've got people from all over tonight. You have some people who zoomed in from Colombia. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah, I invited some of my cousins, my aunts and uncles. So even though it's late over there, I really appreciate. But muchas gracias por por trasnocharse para poder ver el show esta noche. No, pues significa mucho para mí. Es muy especial. Muchas gracias por el apoyo, y pues podemos hablar después. Pero sí, mi Dios les pague. Muchas gracias. Yes, so Colombia, and I also invited some people from India. So I think there might be some people watching. It's like 9 a.m. over there, 9:30. So hello, everyone watching from India.
People are asking for your Venmo.
Oh, people are asking for my Venmo.
Alex. Yeah, could you repeat your Venmo and any other links you'd like people to know?
Sure, my Venmo is Alex-G-Arango. And follow me on social media at Alex Arango Music. Visit my website if you want to listen to any of the recordings of the songs. It's alexarangomusic.com. And be on the lookout, because this show is going to be posted on YouTube next week on the City Lights Theater YouTube channel.
That's right. Probably on Wednesday. You'll receive an email after the fact that has a link to our YouTube channel. Ramira, thank you for asking your question in French. Ramira wants to know, Alex, why didn't you sing tonight?
I wasn't vocally gifted. I don't know. It's just something that never developed. Um, I like to do my talking with the keys, with the instruments, and that's what I'm good at. I'm usually one of the band members backing up someone else, backing up the singer, making them shine. So it's kind of a new experience to be having a show solely focused on my music.
Well, we're really honored that you were able to do it here with us.
Yeah, I'm honored that you had me. Thank you.
I've got another question here in the chat. Is there any project or concept you've maybe had in the back of your mind that hasn't found the right opportunity to flesh out?
Well, yeah. There's a few projects. Um, one a few years ago, I played in the pit orchestra for a musical called In the Heights, and I didn't know I needed that until I saw it, and then I played in it. And The Heights, if you don't know, is a musical by Lin-Manuel Miranda, and it combines Latin music with hip hop. I'm like, oh, that's me. That's what I grew up listening to. That's what I want to do. And so eventually, I want to be able to write a musical. That's way in the long terms. As far as short term goals, I have a couple of friends that I really want to be able to complete at least an EP with. Shout out to Kevin if you're watching, and Brandon, to my best friends that I really enjoy making music with, and last collaborator that I want to, well, a few other collaborators. I don't want to leave anyone out, but I really want to make an album with my girlfriend. So those are some of the projects in the short term.
Natalie, are you a musician too?
I am, yes. Can they hear
Yeah.
me? Can you hear me? Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, I play the trumpet and the piano and a little bit of the ukulele. So I'm hoping, we're hoping to maybe make an EP of ukulele music. And I need Alex's expertise for all the technical stuff.
She's actually my trumpet teacher. You
I was
mentioned that I was learning trumpet, so yeah.
That's amazing. My husband plays baritone uke, and I love the ukulele.
Oh, it's such a relaxing instrument. That's
Wonderful.
great.
Oh, well, I hope that project comes to be, and you'll have to keep us posted.
Yeah, definitely. I'll be sure to share it on my social channels and my website whenever it comes to fruition.
Terrific. You know what, Alex, I'm going to send you at the chat later on so you don't miss anything, because there's a lot of nice comments about you.
I would love to be able to go through it. It'd be a shame if it gets deleted.
No. I'll keep a copy of it for you.
And
So before we wrap up tonight, any other questions? Anyone else want to say anything else about this fantastic music tonight? Oh, and you'll get to see, I should tell you two things. The song Curious, was it Curious or Curiosity? It was Curious.
Sorry, it cut out for a second.
Your
Can
song.
you repeat?
Yeah, the
Okay.
song Curious or Curiosity?
Oh, Curious. Yeah.
Curious. There are a couple of us. I said that the playful nature of the song made me think of the film Amelie. That's what popped into my head.
Oh, I haven't seen that. I'll have to check it out.
Oh, that's a great French film, and it's got really terrific piano music in it. And Nick mentioned that it made him think of the musical Sunday in the Park with George.
Mm.
If you don't know that musical, that is another one definitely to check out.
Yeah, it's great recommendations. Awesome. Definitely check it out.
Thank you, everyone, so much for being here tonight. This is, as I said, such a strange time with our theater not set to open until September, but it's wonderful to connect with you all remotely. This series, The Next Stage, is we're dark next week, but after that, we'll be coming back every Thursday night, and you'll see a link in your email, and we hope you'll join us again. Alex, any more words before we sign off?
I just can't express how loved I feel, all the support. I love seeing all of my students, friends, and family join, and I really hope you got to know know me a little bit better. I don't think I've presented a lot of this music to so many people. So yeah, now you know a little bit more about what I do, who I am, and I hope you enjoy the show.